You ever do that thing where you set a huge financial goal, you're all fired up, ready to change everything, and then a few weeks later, you're right back where you started? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common struggle. But what if I told you the solution isn't about having more willpower? Let me tell you a story that might hit a little too close to home. So, meet Ben. This story from the Lead 360 pretty much sums it up. He had this big, ambitious plan for a total financial 180, but all that initial energy just fizzled out, and he ended up stuck in the exact same spot. It happens to the best of us, for sure. And look, Ben's story isn't just his story. It's a huge, widespread problem. I mean, check out this stat. 56% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. That means more than half the country is one flat tire, one unexpected vet bill, away from serious financial trouble. Whatever we've been told to do in the past, it's clearly not working. So, if these big, hairy, audacious goals usually end in failure, what's the alternative? Where do we go from here? Well, the answer isn't to just try harder. It's to get smarter. It's about understanding the weird, little psychological traps and shortcuts that our own brains are setting for us. Okay, so first, let's dive into the psychology of why we struggle so much. It turns out we're basically fighting a battle against our own biology, and most of the time, we don't even know it's happening. At the very heart of it all is this constant battle. You've got your present self, the one who wants that fancy coffee or that impulse buy right now. And then you have your future self, the one who's supposed to be retiring comfortably someday. The problem is our brains are hardwired to care about the here and now. That future self just feels like a complete stranger, making it incredibly hard to sacrifice for them today. And on top of that, we're all walking around with these things called cognitive biases. You can think of them like mental shortcuts or glitches in our thinking. They're supposed to help us make decisions faster, but they often lead us to make totally illogical choices, especially with money. Okay, here's a classic one. Anchor bias. You ever walk into a store and the first thing you see is a super expensive jacket? That high price becomes your anchor. Suddenly, the jacket next to it that's still pretty pricey seems like a fantastic deal in comparison. Retailers use this trick on us all the time. Or what about the sunk cost fallacy? Oh man, this one gets all of us. Let's say you bought a non-refundable concert ticket, but on the day of the show, you feel sick and it's pouring rain. A rational person would stay home, but a lot of us would go anyway, right? I already paid for it. I have to get my money's worth. That's the sunk cost fallacy, throwing good money after bad just because we hate the feeling of losing what we already invested. So here's what's happening inside our heads. Our brain is designed to be efficient. It's lazy in a smart way. When you repeat any behavior over and over, your brain moves it from the conscious, hard thinking part, the prefrontal cortex, to the brain's autopilot center, the basal ganglia. And just like that, a habit is born. Good or bad, the process is the same. Okay, so if that's how our brains work against us, how do we flip the script? How do we actually hack our brain's own programming to build wealth? Let's get into it. You've probably heard this old saying before, right? It's kind of the perfect way to think about this. Trying to save $1 million for retirement feels like, well, eating an elephant. It's completely paralyzing. The only way to do it is to break it down into ridiculously small pieces. And that leads us to this incredible concept, the power of marginal gains. The idea is that making a tiny, almost unnoticeable 1% improvement every single day compounds into something massive over time. It's like a Fitbit, right? Nobody tries to walk 1,800 miles in a year. That sounds insane, but walking 10,000 steps today? Yeah, I can do that. It's the exact same principle. Now, the key to turning those tiny actions into automatic habits is understanding this simple little recipe. It's called the habit loop. Every habit has 3 parts: a cue, which is the trigger, a routine, which is the action itself, and a reward, which tells your brain, hey, that was good, let's do it again. And this, right here, is the secret sauce, the reward. When you accomplish a small goal, like transferring just $5 to savings, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. That feels good. That dopamine hit reinforces the whole loop. You're not just building a habit. You are literally, physically rewiring your brain to crave that good behavior. It's amazing. Okay, enough with the science. Let's talk about tools. How do we actually put this into practice, like today? Here are 2 incredibly powerful strategies you can start using immediately. First up is something called habit stacking. This strategy is just brilliant in its simplicity. You take a new habit you want to create, and you stack it on top of a strong existing habit you already do without even thinking about it. The formula could not be easier. Step 1. Find a habit you already do every single day, like making your morning coffee. Step 2. Link your new tiny financial habit directly to it. The old habit becomes the cue or the trigger for the new one. It's almost impossible to forget. So for example, it could be, after I brew my morning coffee, I will take 60 seconds to check my bank balance. Or, after I pay a bill online, I will immediately transfer $5 to my savings account. See? These things take almost no time, but they build incredible momentum and awareness over time.
All right, tool number 2 is micro saving. This is all about making saving completely painless. We're talking about putting away such small amounts of money so regularly and automatically that you don't even notice it's gone. No strict budgets, no feeling deprived.
And here are 3 dead simple ways to do it. 1. Set up an automatic transfer for just 1% of every paycheck. 2. Use a Roundup app that saves the spare change from your purchases. Or 3. Commit to automatically saving a chunk of any found money, like a tax refund. These tiny amounts add up to a shocking amount over time. So when you pull all of this together, what you get is a completely new way to think about your finances. It's a fundamental shift away from this old idea that you just need to grind it out and rely on sheer willpower, which, as we know, is totally unreliable. The new paradigm is this simple, powerful equation. Systems are greater than willpower, period. Instead of trying to force yourself to make the right choice every single time, you design a system of small, automatic habits that make the right choices for you. So forget the dramatic financial makeovers. Forget trying to change everything overnight. Real, lasting wealth isn't built in one giant leap. It's built every single day in those small, consistent actions that no one else even sees. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about next month or even tomorrow. Based on everything we just talked about, what is the one tiny 1% change that you can make today?